to get away and be told what they were there to do in like 1905 or 6. Hi, how you doing there?
I am blessed. How are you?
Doing fantastic, Truman.
Yes.
We got great time. We're just talking about the food, just sort of making good food, eating good food without the known toxins and the approved by a wonderful Food and Drug Administration. And the anti-food administration. Would you agree?
I'm not really understanding what you're saying, Jason. What did you just... Please repeat that.
Well, I'm just saying, with all the bad, with all the known carcinogens and toxic ingredients added to our food, the Food and Drug Administration should be the anti-Food and Drug Administration. But they're really not standing up for what they are there for. Provide us with pure and safe food and drugs.
Absolutely right. They're doing the opposite. They're with one single agenda, and that is to push drugs on people and serve their masters in the pharmaceutical industry. And they don't care how many people they harm, how many people they kill. It doesn't matter. They've got an attitude very similar to President Obama's. They just don't care.
They just don't get it.
They just don't care.
And they, like, just bring up the people. Truman, who is an herbalist in Oregon, who has been over 50 years. He has been a herbalist, and he's created 15,000 different herbs. He is well educated in natural herbs up in Canada. And the government of the Federal Drug Administration went after him for stupid stuff. You can't say that it's pure evil prevent X with X product. I can guarantee, and you out there can guarantee, that the FDA will definitely save 300,000 people die a year, medical, food, drugs. 150,000 killed by chemotherapy. And the thing is, folks, can all be healed with produce. They don't want to hear that. They can eat a plant, it's no, it's one. Wow. It'd be on the show that has to be made by Monsanto is the bringer of cancer, toxins, Agent Orange. Want to pick something up there, Terry?
Well, you know, here's the thing is that a U.S. Senator Rand Paul in 2012 he offered a surprise amendment to rein in the FDA's abuses and disarm the FDA and decriminalize free speech, because that's what they've done. They abuse, they criminalize free speech. You can't label an herbal product properly. If you put on there that it's a formula that will support you if you have diabetes, you're not claiming a cure for it. As a matter of fact, there's a disclaimer on every label and on every page of websites that have that are talking about the natural remedies that I've created. So what happens here is that we have a U.S. senator that proposed a bill to and tried to put it through, and it got tabled in 2012, and I guess it's still sitting there. But it's a stunning and completely unannounced move that U.S. Senator Rand Paul, who many agree represents the best hope for the restoration of liberty in America, has introduced an amendment to a key FDA funding bill that seeks to sharply rein in the FDA's power. It would disarm the FDA and make the agency stop using guns against the American people. And it would halt the FDA's armed raids on raw milk farmers. And it would also stop the FDA's outrageous and long-standing censorship of truthful health claims of dietary supplements and medicinal herbs. So this is a big deal. Why it hasn't passed, but given its sudden introduction and lack of enough time to build grassroots support. Go ahead, Jason. I thought you were going to say something there, but all right. So U.S. Senator Rand Paul has introduced such an amendment, and which is proof positive that Rand Paul is exactly the kind of leader that can help take our nation out of the age of government tyranny and censorship and into a new era of transparency, accountability, and liberty. Ending the FDA's unconstitutional censorship of truthful health claims could, without question, help prevent disease and greatly reduce the out-of-control healthcare costs that are bankrupting America. So here's what this bill says. Today on the U.S. Senate floor, this is in 2012, Senator Rand Paul introduced an amendment to the Food and Drug Administration User Fee Reauthorization Bill, which would curb the Food and Drug Association's overreach and abuse of power. Senator Paul's amendment number 2143, which is now since turned into a different bill, would disarm the FDA and put an end to the raids on natural food stores and Amish farmers and stop the FDA censorship of truthful claims of dietary supplements. And I don't know if we have time here, but here's what this bill proposes, and the transcript goes like this. The President, today I'm offering an amendment to the FDA, says Rand Paul. And I'm troubled by the images of armed agents raiding Amish farmers and preventing them from selling milk directly from the cow. And I think we have bigger problems in our country than sending armed FDA agents into peaceful farmers' land and telling them they can't sell milk directly from the cow. That's ridiculous. And so he goes on to say that his amendment has three parts. First, it's amendment to stop the FDA's overzealous regulations of vitamins, food, and supplements by codifying the First Amendment prohibition on prior restraint. What do I mean by that? Okay, what he's saying is the First Amendment says you can't prevent speech, even commercial speech, in advance of the speech. You can't tell Cheerios that they can't say there's a health benefit to their Cheerios. Under our current FDA laws, FDA says if you want to market prune juice, you can't say that it cures constipation. Well, you can't even say it helps constipation. And you can't make a health claim about a food supplement or about a vitamin, and you can't. You can do it about a pharmaceutical, though, but you're not allowed to do it about a health supplement. You can make all kinds of claims about a pharmaceutical. That's okay. But and those pharmaceuticals are nothing more than poison chemical drugs that are keeping people sick, making people sicker, and it's Murder Incorporated. Now, he goes on to say that I think that this should change. There have been several court cases that show this goes against not only the spirit, but the letter of the law of the First Amendment. So this amendment would change that. And this amendment that Paul Rand Paul is proposing would stop the FDA from censoring claims about curative, mitigative effects of dietary supplements. It would also stop the FDA from prohibiting distribution of scientific articles, publications regarding the role of nutrients in protecting against disease.
May I interject?
Yes, please, sir.
Violation of the First Amendment right with the FDA and keeping us away from that. What's preventing individuals from suing the FDA for violation of the First Amendment right to speak the truth?
Well, I did sue them, but I ran out of money and I didn't get enough help to follow through with the lawsuit. And I put my life on the line. I lost everything. I lost my home in 20 years. I lost everything fighting the FDA.
So how much,
go ahead.
how much would you like, for example, right now, National Alliance has just last week began its filing of the Pro Wanto, which tells the federal government, the federal judges and the Supreme Court that they are in violation of their of these laws, exceeding their authority, and that right. The issue of the freedom of speech would be suppressed. But how much would it take, in your saying, to possibly mount an attack on the case of the FDA? Now, I use the word case because that's actually a pig list. They have no pride, they have no integrity, they have no substance. They're pig lists. How much would it take to attack these people?
Well, I had attorneys charging me like $5,000, and it turned out to be like $5,000 every month. And after 3 months of that, that was all the money that I could muster up. And again, these attorneys, and of course these attorneys are officers of the court. They're not there to protect you. They're to protect the court.